Good morning. Oh, mercy, I am squinting today. It's late morning, almost noontime, really. And, good things. Good things, and I just have to share with you. Now, for any of you widows, I want you to know that there's always going to be a sadness in my heart. But what I'm trying to do, if I can, is try to combat the sorrow of the loss of life that he should have had. To watch his grandson grow and change and be creative and industrial. He's so technological, my Finn, you know. He would have loved that. He'd be so proud of the boys. I'm so proud of the boys. They took the knowledge that he gave them during Gold Pro, and they've turned it into something new and incredibly, what's the word? I'm sorry, I'm having a fibro moment, but they've just turned it into an incredible new business. Dennis was always my Dennis Sr. He was always, no, you can't do that. No, that's not going to work. No, he was a very negative person. I was a very negative person. I still am, many times, you know, and I'm trying to change those tapes and change those ideas into positive ones. Michael's been the catalyst for that. Now, Michael and I have a little thing going where I say, things change because I was desperate and I cried out to God and to Dennis and I said, you gotta listen to me. I'm gonna go broke. Meanwhile, at the same time, practically, I think, Michael picked up the book, The Science of Getting Rich. And this time, I mean, we read that 5 years ago, and he'd pick it up now and then. But this time he said, I'm doing it exactly the way this guy says. I'm not going to concentrate on anything but that certain way. I got to tell you, I am so impressed. I always tried affirmations, positive thinking, and like 10 months down the road, something horrible would happen and I'd be crushed. It wasn't supposed to go that way. Well, I'm telling you, the way things are going for these kids, they can't fail. We have a Greek saying, kathimera katekinurio, which means each day something new. And it's like that. It's like every time he makes the effort, he is blessed tenfold in every effort. It's blowing my mind. I wouldn't say it if it weren't true. I'm not sure what the difference was. I guess because he concentrates constantly on the things that he's learned in that book. And I know that Michael and Denny are men of faith. They're not churchgoers. I'm not either. They're not followers. They've always been leaders. Anyway, so I see what's happening with Michael and I'm like, well, I'm sure God plays a part in this because I know I prayed. I prayed from the depths of my soul. And I know that what he's doing is working because he'll have his earplugs in and he'll be listening to the book on tape while he's working, cleaning jewelry. I mean, this isn't easy work, okay? This is not easy work. There's no ease to this whatsoever. And that's why I've had to take up the slack as nanny and housekeeper. And yes, I've given them loans. And yes, they're paying me back rapidly. And no, I'm not spending it loosely. I paid down some credit card bills because I had credit card debt. I used 1,000 on that. And, but, I have new confidence now. I says to him yesterday, finally, I have a wealthy relative I can hit up on when I need money. And Maggie said, you were always generous, always gave to us, Mom. So, and Dennis Jr. said, oh, Mom, I said to him, I says, as soon as I leave, I'm going to ask Michael to give me X amount a month while I'm out and traveling. He says, we owe you so much, Mom. He says, we give you more than that. And I said, I don't want more than that. That's all I want is this amount. And I'm probably going to have to get it in gas cards so it doesn't mess up my QMB. I don't know how that works, but I think if it's a loan or if it's, I don't know if gift cards count. I doubt it. That's kind of like, I don't know. Anyway, I can find out. So, before I go for QMB, I'm waiting for the paperwork. So, I started Weight Watchers. I fail so many times, but this time I said, I am so sick of being sick. I am so sick of the pain. I can't take this. I can't live in a van if I'm like this. How the heck am I going to get out of the van and go into the grocery store? What if I need water? I guess you could drive up to McDonald's and say, can I have a burger and a glass of water, a big one? Well, so I've been doing Weight Watchers and I'm doing it to the T. To the T. Even last night, it was Maggie's birthday yesterday. And Denny Jr. went out and he bought a cake. And I really wanted a piece of that cake. I love cake, okay? I can't taste it, but I love it. It's texture and moisture and its sweetness. And I don't know, there's something about it. And oh my, Winn-Dixie, the frosting texture was amazing. It was kind of like a combination between fudge and mousse. Oh, to die for. So he cut it into 8 pieces. And I said, I'm going to take a third of the 8th. And I sliced it off. Unfortunately, I went back and I sliced a really, really, really thin piece extra because I just wanted that feeling. And I think I was really, really hungry. But I didn't eat anything else, and I took it off in my points. And, yeah. I'm just going to eat a little less today because I got to build up more points because Finn's birthday is Sunday. He's going to be 6. So I'm following everything exactly, and I need a pedometer because I want to be able to count my steps because I do a lot of steps. So things that I'm doing to encourage activity. Oh, I got to tell you this one. I had another yard sale. And this time, a few tables were set out, about 4 of them. They dragged them out for me and stuff. I dragged one myself out from back. And then they brought all the boxes out, and I undid everything. I did all the selling. I did all the arranging, the rearranging. At the end of the sale, I piled up 8 boxes of goods on the side of the road. Boxes, okay? Boxes. Filled them to the brim and hauled them over there. Then it took me a day and a half. I started taking tables down, folding them, drag them to one side. Fold one, drag, because my back was starting to feel it, and I can't push. Then on the third day after the sale, I cleaned the kitchen. I cleaned the kitchen, and that is no small task, okay? The boys don't care. And poor Maggie can't keep up. There's just no way. They'll drop stuff. And I literally had to take my metal paint scraper. I kept it from the yard sale. I said, hey, I could use this when I do the floors. Yeah, that bad. So I spray everything down. I still couldn't get it up. So I took my scraper and it worked. And then I mopped the floor. First I vacuumed. And I moved things around, okay? I didn't just skirt. I moved everything around because there's a lot of stuff, okay? A lot of stuff. And now with the new business, there's more and more and more stuff. But I have to praise my kids with this. They hauled all of their old business stock out of that garage and gave it away to a guy who wanted it. Yep. So there is actually a walkway now through the garage. But they're soon going to fill that up because they're going to do the cleaning end of what they do in the garage. So I just want to say that Bernard Jensen was right. Food is your best medicine. I have not taken a tramadol. I have not taken a meloxicam, an aspirin, a Flexeril since 2 days after I started Weight Watchers. I think my body is like, space. I can start working on these important issues. Because, you know, I'm an emotional eater. I'm a compulsive eater. I'm an I don't give a damn eater. And I want chips and Coke with my Public sub. And I want mashed potatoes and ketchup with the steak dinner. I want candy bars, cookies, things that are sweet afterwards. I want my Dove chocolate. Now, I have been nibbling on fun size Heath bars. I can have 4 of those for, how many points do they take? I think 4 points, because they're 3. I figured out the point system. Each point is 40 calories, relatively. Sometimes it's between 38 and 40, but I count the 40 so that I'm always ahead of the game. So now I know that if I have 150 calories, I have 4 points. So, and I'm able to figure out the things that I can't find or that I feel aren't correct. So, I'm sorry, I'm outside and, you know, stuff going on all around, so it always turns my head. Positive changes in my life. One is I don't have to worry about these guys anymore. I can't tell you. Bonnie is all set and she's doing well. Rachel is iffy, but she's safe and sound. She's, you know, in a building and she's doing her business. She just needs to get out of there because her roommate is a narcissist. So, you know, she's working on that. I'm not worried about myself anymore because I know Michael will take care of me. Michael's just that way. All my kids are that way. Bonnie, do you need anything, Mom? Is there anything I can give you? No. But because I invested in Michael's old business a lot of money, so much money I won't even tell you. Only one of my viewers knows. We have a close relationship and we email each other a lot. And because of that, yes, I'm going to accept money from him. He knows it's fair and I know it's fair, and if ever anything went wrong, and I know it won't, I wouldn't ask for that. But because he's rolling in dough, it's like overnight it happened. Overnight. I mean, he's been struggling with jewelry on eBay forever, right? And then Maggie tried the whatnot, and to my viewer who contacted Michael, wants to know about whatnot, I'm going to try to catch him for 10 minutes and have him talk about what he does know. He doesn't know everything, but he can tell you how we started. They started. Maggie and I were going to start it. And Maggie did one show on her own, and no sales, nothing. It could have been the time of day, too, that she did. I don't know. It just didn't go. And she was ready to quit, and Michael said, no, we're going to try it a couple more times. There's people on here making money, and we're going to figure out how. They don't work Uber anymore. They're saving their vehicles that have been beat to heck because of Uber, you know. But I'll tell you, if you're struggling and you need some money, Uber saved my butt when Dennis was still alive and I was down to $200 to my name, and I said, I'm driving Uber. I'm going to do Uber Eats. It was during the panoramic. What was it? The pandemic. Rachel calls it a panoramic. And I said, I'm going to do Uber Eats because I didn't want anyone in my car. I have a sick man, you know, who's dying, and I didn't need to give him COVID. And I don't do vaccines, so, you know, I wasn't going that direct. There weren't any at the time. It was 2019, the end of. And when everyone got the stimulus checks, oh, the money was flowing. I got $50 tips. I got a $100 tip at one point. It was amazing. People were so good to me. So good to me. They'd read my story about my sick husband that I was caring for, and my dream was to get him out of that dumpy trailer and into a real home. That was my dream. Well, hopefully now he's living in mansions in heavenly places. I know what the Apostle Paul says, but I've never really looked deeply into that to see what the original wording was, because I was always a student of the biblical sense, and I use concordances and all that sort of thing, and look up words and, you know, the original. And anyway, so I haven't looked at that. I know what I saw when he died. I know what I experienced when he died. I know what happened the next day, the day after, and the day after that. And no one's ever going to convince me it was some sort of freakish anomaly. I don't think it was. No. I asked him 2 weeks before he died, because he said, I'm dying, Nikki. And I said, please, Dennis, I gotta know. I just gotta be sure that there's life after death, that there is a God. Will you please, if you can, will you let me know? I said, make it big. And he said, if I can, I will. And he did. But I'm still mad at God. I'm trying to work on that, but I'm angry. But you know what? A lot of that's healing, because he heard my prayer for my children and for myself. I don't know how this happened, and I don't really care how it happened. I just know that it did happen, and it's changing everybody's lives. It's changing everyone's lives. So, and I'll tell you, Weight Watchers is not cheap. I mean, Weight Watchers is cheap. I got it for $10 a month, and I really love the plan. It's really helping me. I'm sorry I'm bouncing around. I am random. I'm so sorry. For new viewers, hi, welcome. Thanks for being here. Yeah, I got it for $10 a month. I took the 10-month plan, because I said to myself, I'm going to get that 60 pounds off in 10 months. Come hell or high water, I'm doing it. And then I'm staying there. That's the important part. I'm learning how to have my cake and eat it too. Without being a glutton and without going crazy. You know, it's a funny thing. I crave healthy food more than junk food lately. Go figure. I love chewing on baby carrots and celery and snow peas. I love those things. They're sweet and they're crunchy and they're juicy. I just love the combo. It's awesome. So, yeah, changing mindset, changing direction, changing attitude. Well, money helps, let's face it. And what I was saying was Weight Watchers isn't cheap, and they're buying all the groceries. I bought 1 week's of groceries and I nearly fainted, okay? So that just for me. It wasn't for them. It was for me, and I'm like, wow. How am I going to do it on the road? I'm not sure. I am not sure. I think I'm going to, unfortunately, have to rely heavily on low sodium canned goods, which is not good for you. The aluminum, it is not good for you. But I gotta do what I gotta do. You know, I have to figure out when I get into my van, do I want one of those 12-volt fridges? I've got the power if I can figure out how to use it. So I have a 200-watt Goal Zero briefcase. Heavy as a son of a gun. And that's the thing. Here I am lifting those heavy tables. Those tables are heavy. They're the older ones that were really made, right? I'm lifting boxes of goods to the side of the road. I'm doing it. I told Maggie today, though, I said, look, today's my break. I'm not going to do any cleaning. I'm going to try really hard not to do any dishes but my own. I'm obsessive compulsive. If I see a dish, I've got to wash it. I can't help myself. I get very upset when both sinks are full. I'm like, ugh. But they're buying a new sofa. Yes, you should see that sofa. Oh my God, they are so hard on stuff. I mean, we've put plyboard under it. It's so bad, and it's still sinking. How does that happen? Anyway, right. So I bought the Weight Watchers food just for myself. A lot of berries, grapes. I like the fruit. Tons of bananas. I was going to say the other word, but I stopped myself. I rely heavily on bananas right now. I'll let you know how it goes. I'm going to go weigh myself after Maggie comes back with the vehicle. I have to go out to weigh myself, yes. I'm going to go to the Publix grocery store. Their scales are calibrated every week, so I know it's good. My son's scale died, so I can't use that, and it never was right anyway. You know how those store-bought scales are. They're crappy. I know what I weighed before I started Weight Watchers because I had to go to the doctor for an appointment because I was looking for tramadol because I was in so much pain. I want to start walking, right? I'm elated. I'm walking, I'm moving, I'm cleaning, I'm doing stuff. It's amazing what bad food will do to you. It's amazing. Think about it, guys. If you're struggling and you're suffering, think twice about what you put in your mouth. And you know what? You don't even need to pay for the Weight Watchers stuff. It's all online. How does Weight Watchers point system work? And then there's other apps that are free, like, what are those ones? MyFitnessPal, is stuff like that. I would just go to my Google Play Store if you have Apple, and I'd put in free food tracking app and see what comes up, you know? And then you can have an exercise app. And you can do this. You can do this without paying $10 a month. The food's expensive. I'm not going to lie, but I notice, you know, it used to be eggs were cheap. Well, now they're $5 a dozen anywhere. I don't care where you go. They're $5 a dozen down here, all right? And the organic and the free range and the really excellent quality eggs are $6. I spend the extra $1. Why spend $5 on crap, really light yellow oak eggs when you get beautiful bright orange yolks? You know that's vitamin D for $1 more. And so eggs used to be cheap, and now they're not. I would rely a lot on that. Bananas are cheap if you go to Walmart. And I have about 3 to 4 bananas a day. I put 2 with 2 eggs, some fat-free yogurt, and those are all free items, no points. And then I throw in a half a cup of my Kodiak pancake mix and whir it up, and that's enough for 2 days of pancakes for me, and only 6 points. So that's breakfast. If you like more bulky, I suppose you could use cottage cheese. Cottage cheese is a free food, and it is, I wouldn't call it cheap, but maybe less. Yeah, fat-free yogurt's a free food, and you can look that up online. What are the Weight Watchers free foods? And it'll pop right up for you. You can follow it without paying a dime, you know. But I like that I joined because there's a lot of little articles. They're constantly messaging me and telling me stuff and keeping me accountable. Hey, Nikki, it's time to weigh yourself. I know not everybody likes to weigh themselves, and etc., etc. Yeah. Thinking, changing, trying to go in a more positive direction. So I was talking about widowhood earlier and trying to turn that sorrow into, what was that saying? It always pops up on my Facebook feeds. Don't be sad because it's over. Be happy because it happened. And if I can, turn this sorrow into, I had him for almost 36 years in my life. I think it was over 36, because if you count the year we dated. And he loved me unconditionally. He loved me deeply with all his heart. Yeah, he could be a prick. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. He could be a bully. He was mean. Not all the time. He could be the most compassionate and understanding person. He could be the most lenient person at times. He was light and dark like all of us. But his light was very, very bright because he loved his family with a passion. He was always faithful to me. Always. Always committed and dedicated. Always took good care of us. I don't care how little we had. We came first. Well, his business came first because that's what supported us, and then we came second. Oh. Oh, and he was a free spirit, and I loved that. We were so much alike. We loved wildness and freeness and roaming, camping, unconventional life. And I want to take that back. I want that back. I've been waiting a long, long time to have that back again. I've thought and thought and thought about it. I'm really excited. I'm waiting for my van. I know. I trust Curtis. Curtis came into my life through the grapevine when I was at my most desperate with that van. I was like, I'm just going to park it in the yard and live in it. And I found the mechanic around here who was going to change out the engine. But instead, when I went to get the engine, and the guy told me he couldn't take the front off because he didn't have the room in his garage, I then called the engine guy and I said, I got a problem. I said, is it true that you have to take the front end off that van to put the engine in? I said, my mechanic can't do it. And I said, do you know anyone? And he said, I do. Let me make some phone calls. And he said, Curtis is the one and every time I said, hey, look, I found somebody else in the area when the new engine went in and that wasn't good, and then he put another engine in, and I don't know about that. Curtis seems to think the engine's fine. It's the electrical at this point. I told him don't bother calling me back till the end of this week, and I might give him a call on Wednesday if I can reach him. Bless his heart. But Danny would say, no. They're going to screw you, Nikki. You can trust Curtis. Stay with Curtis. And Curtis told me that Danny said, we've got to fix this lady's van. She needs this van. We have to get this right. And Danny has been so generous in that there's been 2 engines, and he's had to pay Curtis once, and I paid the first time, and he paid the second time to put the new engine in. Bless their hearts for having mercy on a widow, Bless them. So, new life. And I'd been mourning. I'm like, the other day I was doing the yard sale and I started to cry to myself when no one was around. I'm like, all I ever wanted all my life was to be a mother and a wife. That was my dream. I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, But I ran a cleaning business for quite a while, and then Dennis joined me while we were dating, and we became Good Reflections Home and Office Cleaning, and we did that for about 4 years, and then we went on a road trip, which lasted a long time, 10 years. And he found antiques during the time that we were home and office cleaners, and he remembered this stuff from his grandparents' places and great-grandparents, and he said, I know this stuff. And we started traveling around. Well, he started first and dumped me off at his father's house, which almost drove me insane. But anyway, I want to grab that back. I want to take back who I am. that's been my theme. I want to be Nikki again. I've lost myself over the years, and I mean, other things have had to come before me. My husband, my children, his business. Then came little Bonnie, and I was like, I'm not traveling anymore. Because, I was 41 with a tiny baby and 3 adult children. Well, close to anyway, 13, and how old was 10, and Rachel was 17, and then I had a baby. Vodka moment. Anyhow, yeah, so that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I just wanted to talk to you guys today about it. I wanted to give you more good news. Ta-da! I'm feeling better. I have hope. I'm moving, walking, doing, being, and those are all amazing things, but I am taking today off, like I said, because I'm a little sore, yeah. But things are looking up in every possible way. And as soon as I get my van back, you're going to be the first to know. Then I'm going to go see Rachel in Texas. So, yeah, okay, that's it. I'm going to go drink some water. That's hard for me, but I'm going to do it. I've only been doing 1 to 2 16-ounce bottles a day. I'm like a camel. I'm always dry but never thirsty. It's very strange. I think it's the fibro, but who knows? Maybe I'll start getting more thirsty too. I'm using homeopathy again. Yay! Trying to resolve some of my back issues through homeopathy. I don't know if it's the food, or I think it's the food, because that started first, and the homeopathy came, and I started that, and everything together hopefully will make a whole Nikki. That's what I'm hoping for. Now that's my story, and I'm sticking to it, and I'm going now, and I wonder how many. Oh my God, 31 minutes. I had a lot to talk about. Okay, bye.